Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. So this time I'd like to ask everyone if you would stand and we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next I'm going to ask for the approval of agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Andrew?
Support.
Dawn? Excellent. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we have the teaching and learning feature. And Amy, could you introduce our teaching and learning feature for this evening?
Yes, we have the privilege this evening to kind of get an overview and a recap of our 25th anniversary orchestra concert. And so I'll welcome our teachers forward to give us a recap.
Well, thank you for having us tonight. I'm Sarah Lenhart, and I teach at Riley. This is the orchestra team, and we are grateful to be here tonight to show you a little recap of last Thursday evening. We are thankful that so many of you were able to attend, and we know it's a lot to give up a night in May, so thank you so much for your support of the orchestra program. And we just look forward to the next 25 years. We're a little overdressed. We have a high school orchestra concert and senior recognition tonight, and Chicago with the 8th graders tomorrow, so we celebrate the last 25 years and we look forward to the next.
We're going to show you a video of the 6th graders that performed at the 25th anniversary concert, and it's the 200 6th graders from 56G and Riley Street. So they've come a long way from Hot Cross Buns in the fall, and this is a picture of the whole setup, so all of the grades, the 550 students all together. And these are just some fun pictures for the night. That was the biggest thing we took away, is the students that were performing just had so much fun. Dan Hoffman, who helped us with security, was at the door helping with traffic afterwards and said, they all came out feeling like they won the Super Bowl or something. And I was like, great, okay. And we had a wonderful attendance from the school board and admin, and we had admin from 2001 when the program started, and alumni, and the whole K-12 music team. And we had wonderful speakers who helped us really tell the story of the last 25 years.
We'll go right to the video. This is the high school groups combined, so it's all 100 students together performing in the room. And then for next year, because we have the first class, the 8th graders are the first class of students that were required to take band, orchestra, choir, or elective music when they were in 6th grade. They're now 8th grade, going to be 9th grade next year, so we have 85 of those students who are continuing at the high school in orchestra. So because of that, and because of the space and the number of instruments we have, we are going to have 4 orchestras next year. So this is, you can see the picture has all of the high schoolers as well as all of the 8th graders. And then this is all of the 6th graders, and at the other end is all of the 7th graders. So we had 550 students on the gym floor for the event. So, oh yeah, and we had Callista Corey with her advanced media class did their first live stream ever. So they enjoyed it, they had a lot of fun, and she said it was a wonderful experience for them. Not only because they had a lot of fun, but they also had to problem solve and figure things out before it actually got started. So they got in the hot seat a little bit for this one. She said it was wonderful because it was live, and it was exactly what happens when you do live video. So she was a wonderful help, put together a lot of the stuff, as well as Mr. Blair, who was helping coordinate for the last year with putting the event together.
And we just thankful that the art team was willing to collaborate with us on this event. It was neat to have music and art together, and we already are brainstorming with them some ideas for next year to supplement some musical events with the art show. So this next slide is Jupiter. We told the audience we don't know if you can have 550 people stay together in the gym, but the answer was yes. Just a short clip of it.
Hello, I'm Jillian Coleman, and I teach orchestra at the 5-6 building with Becky Bush. It was very exciting to see the students just so excited and just thrilled while they were playing. That was very fun. We look forward to the continued growth of the orchestra and music program. Thank you all for your continued support in the music program. And we will conclude our presentation tonight with the song that ended our concert, the Hudsonville Fight Song.
Thank you very much for coming, and I must make one comment. I always tell Dr. Vanderjack that he's the best dressed guy in the room. But Adam, I can't say that tonight, so I'd like to ask Dr. Vanderjack to wear his formal attire to the next work session. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Before you leave, I would like to make just a quick comment. I've been to many events at our wonderful field house. That was one of the most amazing events to attend. It was fun to watch. It was fun to be a little part of. But worried about what it might sound like in a gym versus an auditorium. When you put the bodies in there, it just sounded great. It looked great. There's so many people that have never been in there that watched. There are kids that have never been in there that now are looking forward to their high school experience walking. It's because of the work you guys do. So thanks for all you do. Before you do leave, one last time, we would like to recognize Becky. I know, just so you want it. But for those that do not know, Becky was recognized as the, I'm going to say this, MSBOA, Michigan Strings School Band Orchestra, I'm going to mess it up, Association District 10 Orchestra Teacher of the Year. So congratulations.
I just have to say, that last song was awesome. And having me in there, it was a wonderful event. And I know you all do it for the kids, but what you did in organizing all that and putting that all together in recognition, again, hats off to our instructors and the whole music team for what you do and what you did in this event. Thank you very much.
I'd like to add to that too, because one of the things that I think was so unique about the celebration is how coordinated it was. And in the back of my mind, all I could think of is how much time did the people put in. I so appreciated how you staggered the music with speakers and coordinated all that. And I know that does not happen naturally. So thank you for raising the bar, and thank you for such a wonderful night.
And we're looking forward to the next one, we can probably hit about 700 or 800 orchestra students on that floor. So, thanks again. We'd like to continue with recognition. We also have, I don't understand why all the students don't want to sit in the front row. We left you seats, and I see all of you back there. But I would like to ask, I'm going to turn over to Mr. Vanderwall, because I don't see. I know where. Oh, there he is. Wait, he's hiding. I see him. So he's going to come up too. But I'll turn over to Mr. Vanderwall. You can turn over to Phil, and you guys can talk about another successful program, and maybe just, Phil's looking forward to speaking, but I'll turn over to Chanel. There's a mic right there if you want to use it. And congratulating our winter percussion and their success. So I'll turn over to say a few words. And then we do have, we want to recognize the students. The best way to do it is for you to read these names when you're done saying a few words. I know you're really happy about this right now. And then, but then we can have the students come up and maybe congregate up here. We'll get a picture with them when we're done. So congratulations. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. All right, I'm Phil Matthews, and I am just grateful to be here and grateful to have all of these students here with us. So I direct and coach the Hudsonville Indoor Percussion Group, and we consist of 29 percussionists. We play inside a gym. We compete around the state of Michigan and abroad, and so we're just super thrilled this year to be back-to-back state championships for the state of Michigan. We compete in the open class circuit, which is a little bit of a more intermediate level percussion, and so we're just grateful to have an awesome staff of percussion educators and an awesome group of students who are willing to achieve high and excellent things in the world of band music and percussion. And so, yeah, we're just super thankful for these students.
It's amazing to see the students, the parents, our administration, everything pulled together that needs to put a program like this together. It's very time consuming. It takes up a lot of our district's facilities and a lot of our resources, and just to keep getting amazing support from the admin team all the way through our amazing parents and the staff and Mr. Matthews is just absolutely remarkable. We did win our state championship this year, and then because our kids get so many opportunities, we're also able to go down to Dayton, Ohio in April and compete at WGI World Championships with both our guard and percussion programs. And when you go there, it is actually a global event. And we see groups from Japan and Thailand and Mexico, but all over the United States, California, Texas, and our Hudsonville kids are down there competing and performing with them. And I think that's an amazing opportunity for our program, and it's just really exciting to be a part of that every year. I just am really proud of what we do. If I pause for a minute, and maybe this is off the grid, but just as a dual role as chair of the music department, it's amazing what our music students are getting to do right now. They had an incredible Italy trip with our orchestra program, our choir program, sorry, our musical was wonderful, the review show was great, we had orchestra go to Disney this year. We had all the stuff with the band in the state championship. I mean, it just keeps going. I couldn't stand here and list everything. Seems like every day when I come in, Mrs. Andre, Mr. Davis, somebody's telling me just something amazing that kids get to do. They're singing with Foreigner again, right? Our choir's singing with Foreigner again this year, and it just keeps coming. I mean, in June, I'm even taking our adapted music class to Chicago on a free trip that's fully sponsored for them and their parents to go perform at Navy Pier in Chicago. So what a remarkable time to be a musician and be a part of Hudsonville Public Schools. My point is that it doesn't happen without the amazing support of our community and our admin and our parents. So I just want to thank everybody for that. So back to the drumline page, we are so proud of our students to win 2 state championships in a row and just keep doing good things. The state championship is nice. We like to win and be competitive, but if you spend time around these kids, you'll realize just truly how fantastic they are. They're just something we can really be proud of, and they just show a really bright future for our community. So we're really proud of you, drumline members. Congratulations.
All right, so when I call your name, come on over, and then we'll gather in this area for a picture, okay?
Stay in order alphabetically by last name.
All right, so
It's May, you gotta know your alphabet by now.
first up, Noah Clough, come on over. Noah Demott, Henry Denning, Dakota Durham, Juella Emmert, Stella Fay, Luke Gunnick, Daniel Halstead, Juan Henriquez, Lily Henry, Bella Jelsima, Lex Keene, Ryan King, Trevor Coonsey, Maddie LaFonzi, Chase Llewellyn, Caleb McElroy, Justin Mings, Austin Noble, Elijah Orndorff, Zach Phillips, Emmett Brown, Damian Rios, Addie Simpson, Ben Stellama, Zach Stellama, Peter Vandercode, Jackson Deltama, Logan Wilmore.
Now we gotta try to do some picture. You can do this. First side. Yeah, pick a side.
Hold it first. Yeah, do you guys want to switch? Do you want to switch places? Yeah, put your in the back.
Congratulations to all of you. Nice job, you guys. Way to make it proud.
Do you feel how many this year? What's that? How many students this year? 29? How many did you go? Yeah, it is. Wow. Yes. 29 kids playing the drums.
I'm just wondering, Craig, with all these things they got going with band and orchestra and all this, do they ever go to class other than?
I'm not sure they want to.
Okay, I see. I want to recognize a couple of other people here. A couple of weeks ago, we had a call from someone who said they would like to recognize the school district for what happened in January. Remember back in January, we had that 100-car pile up on the expressway. And they needed places for people to go so they could keep warm and so we happened to not have any school that day. Did we call it off? Or we did call it off. So anyway, so we had a few open buildings. And so Dr. Vanderjack and Rob got together with some other people and we opened up the building to the community. And this is something that we are very interested in doing because these buildings belong to the community. We are just here during the day. And any time that we can help the community by utilizing these buildings, we want to do that. So when Deb Herrick called, and she represents Delta Kappa Gamma, it's a women's education group, she wanted to recognize them for what they did in helping out during that disaster. So I want to ask Deb to come up here, and I'm going to turn the mic over to her for a minute.
Okay, I was going to say quite a bit of the few same things, but anyways, I am the president of the Kent and Ottawa County chapter of Delta Kappa Gamma organization. This organization promotes the professional and personal growth of women educators and promotes excellence in education. Our Friend of Education Award typically goes to a person, company, or organization that is outside of education that has benefited the school or students. However, this year, we were stepping out of the norm and giving the award to two gentlemen who showed heroism and compassion. They are affiliated with the school system and have given back to their communities. And like was said, on January 19th, as many of you will remember, there was the 100-car pileup in Georgetown Township. US I-196 highway was frozen and visibility was low due to high wind gusts. All of the local schools were closed due to the bad weather. Even though the school was closed to students and teachers, Superintendent Doug Vanderjack and Director of Transportation Rod Matthews put their heads together and formed a rescue mission with a team of staff members for the freezing people who were stuck in this pileup. Risking their own lives, they drove a school bus to the crash site to pick up travelers and bring them back to the school to stay warm until someone could come pick them up. We, as a group, recognize this as a feat that went above and beyond normal expectations of their jobs, and it was a real act of heroism. Any staff member from Hudsonville High School that helped in this endeavor deserves to be commended and certainly has your community's gratitude. At this time, I would like to present the Beta Omicron chapter of Delta Kappa Gamma's Friend of Education Award to Doug Vanderjack and Rob Matthews.
Yeah, thank you very much for thinking of this and recognizing these two gentlemen. We really appreciate them.
Thank you.
I would like to say, as Rob knows, it takes a village. The amazing people that drop what they're doing to help out. Where do we need to be? What do we need to do? You talk about driving the buses to pick up people. They still will not let me drive a bus. I'm not certified, even though I would have that day. I did drive a few people to the hotel, and that was an interesting experience. But there's just everybody stepped up. Everybody, what do we need to be, from custodians to security to first aid? People were there and helped out. So just blessed to be a part of the community that will do anything for their neighbors. So thank you for the recognition. Appreciate it.
And now we're going to go to recognition of visitors. Do we have anyone who wants to speak this evening? We do not. Okay, then we will go to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda items? Barb? Support. Andrew, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we're going to go to the regular action agenda, and I'm going to turn it over to Ann Armstrong concerning retirements that we have.
All right, well, I'm very excited to be here tonight and honor our retirees. I'm going to hand it over to our building principals to start. So I'm going to invite Heidi Mucha up to start with Allward Elementary. We are honoring 18 retirees tonight, and just very excited.
Thanks, Ann. Okay, usually there's a podium right here, and so I'm gonna awkwardly hold this in my hand. I'm not worried about it. We have 3 retirees from Allward, and so just some facts. Combined, they have 90 years of service, So almost made it to 100, which is pretty exciting. I would say conservatively, if they had a certain amount of students per year, they would have impacted possibly 1,980 students. And that's just the kids that would have been in their classroom. We know that our teachers impact many more students, but just start with Holly. Holly has had 32 years in education, 31 here at Hudsonville. She is an expert in her field. The knowledge that she brings to the team is incredible about early education. I was in a parent meeting a couple years ago, and this parent said, all my kids have had Holly, and I wouldn't have them in any other classroom. My kids know how to read because of her. And that just was that stuck with me for a long time. If you were to walk past Holly's room, a couple things you might hear her say a lot is, great job, kiss your brain. That's a big one that I like to say, or, you know what, let's all take a belly breath. You will definitely hear that. And just even a few weeks ago, I walked by a classroom and they were all laughing, and sometimes I like to jump into class and say, well, teacher, you know we're not allowed to laugh at all word. And then they all laugh and they say, we have fun in Ms. Lepard's room. So it's just been a joy getting to know you. And to end with Holly, one thing that I hear her say, not just with parents, but when we're talking as a group, is my hope, my wish, and dream is that your child or this child will be successful, not just in my classroom, but outside of this. Once a student, always a student for Holly. I know that she's gone to visit kids in the hospital or their homes after they, were students with her 20 years ago. So incredibly thankful for you and to get to know you these past years. She doesn't want to continue to stand here for the other one. We also have Sally DiCarlo. She teaches first grade at Allward, and she's had 26 years of education here, 25 at Hudsonville. And she just has such an incredible calming presence at Allward, and her care for students just runs deep. Even in her last couple of years of teaching, she is so strong. You might come in and you would not think she was at the end chapter of education. We do surprise days recently at first grade that a teacher brought in, and she has just jumped into that wholeheartedly. They just had a pool party surprise day for the kids, and she was just as decked out as any other teacher in first grade. And I'm just so thankful for her. A note that she knows her students so well. I've been on a lot of parent meetings with her, or academic meetings, and without looking at a note, she can tell you exactly where every student is academically. She will tell you what they like, what they dislike. Just as a parent, when you hear that in a meeting, to know that your kid is beloved by their teacher no matter what, it puts them at ease, and she just does such an excellent job about that. I know, just note, when she goes into retirement, I just found this out about, she hand feeds squirrels in her backyard, like Snow White. So I wish her all the love in a new chapter of hand feeding animals in her backyard. Trisha Harmson is currently a pre-K teacher at Allward. She used to teach first grade for a number of years. Fun fact about her is that she went to elementary school at Allward. So she went there kindergarten through sixth grade, loved it so much, came back and taught for 31 years. So I think that's just incredible. When I put myself into the role of a teacher, and I think about who do I want on my side to have my back, Trisha Harmson is who I think about. She cares about the well-being of the other staff members in our building, and I think that is incredible. Just her steady presence has truly been a blessing to our students and our staff at Allward. And I really feel like with these three teachers, like I said this today, it's just an end of an era, and they will be so missed, but we wish them all the best in the next chapter.
Josh, come up from Bauer.
All right, I'm here tonight to recognize Jane Van Rice. She's our music teacher at Bauer, and she was unable to make it. So when I reached out about tonight's event and announcing her retirement, I said, tell me your story. What do you want people to know about you? So she said, during the last 14 years at HPS, I've been able to teach at Bauer, Forest Grove, Jamestown, Georgetown, and the ECC. The number of students I've encountered is rather mind-boggling when I truly think about it. I've enjoyed getting to know so many different students and their parents. My greatest joys are the children and their excitement on their faces and joyful singing when they perform at their programs, the child who proclaims that music is their favorite special, and the wonderful colleagues that have inspired me to be a better teacher. The child who performs a goose call at the yearly talent show brings a smile to my face as well, and reminds me that is also what is the joy in teaching. I will miss the students that every day bring joy and the opportunity to help the students at HBS grow in their love of music. Personally, I will miss Jane greatly. Some things about Jane, there's a meme going around our building right now of Jane, because someone snapped a picture of her on her cottage porch in a little lounging position. And so you can imagine how our staff would spin that in different ways and have fun with that. And she's good with it. She has fun with it. She has a very dry sense of humor, which I appreciate. And she loves kids. You know, when you work with someone, you have this synergy, and like, yeah, this is a person who cares about their work and really has high standards for kids. And I respect that about her. Kids know exactly where they stand, and she gets them to perform at a high level. Our annual holiday program is pure excellence. I love it. It is remarkable. And every year it's remarkable, even though I've seen it over and over. It's amazing. Yes. Jane, thank you. You'll be greatly missed.
I love you guys know the alphabet, so. Ryan Creed from Michigan.
I have the honor tonight of recognizing three teachers that combined have taught for 81 years, and most of those years all at Hudsonville Public Schools. None of them are here tonight because they are not the people that want to stand and be in the limelight. So first up, Steve Roth has taught for 31 years in education, all here at Hudsonville. He is like our wonder teacher. He has a certification that you can't even get anymore, where he can literally teach anything. So I asked Steve, like, what have you taught in your 31 years in Hudsonville? And it's a lot of stuff. But most recently, he's taught in our social studies department, 7th grade social studies at Baldwin. He is the most humble man I've ever met. He still, to this day, is coaching our middle school basketball teams. He's on the court. If he's not coaching, he's at events, running the scoring table, pouring his heart and soul into Hudsonville Public Schools. Going to dearly miss Steve. Next up, Bruce Coonsey. He has taught for 32 years. He taught for 3 years in Wayland, and then the other 29 years taught at Hudsonville Public Schools. He spent a little bit of time at the high school, and the majority of his career at Baldwin. He taught math for our students. He's also been a coach as well, wrestling, cross country, track. He's not here tonight because he's coaching middle school track. He also led the old summer science for middle school, like the Sleeping Bear Dune science trip. He helped out with the high school summer science trip, and is just a guy that cares deeply about kids. He's one of the most passionate educators I've ever met, but it's because of his love and care for kids. So we will dearly miss Bruce as well. And our last retiree is Mr. Kevin Clausen. He taught for all 29 years in the same building at Baldwin Street Middle School. All of these teachers were there in, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 1996 when Baldwin opened. Something like that. They have been there for all of the years that Baldwin has existed. And so just incredibly proud of what they brought to our building. Kevin has taught math. He's been an active member in our school community on school leadership teams. He's coached boys and girls soccer, and just is an incredible math educator. Every kid that has had him speaks very highly of him, and they come out just really ready for high school math. So really 3 incredible educators that I've had the privilege of working with the last 5 years and going to dearly miss.
Hello, I'm Randy Wood. principal at Georgetown, and we have two retirees. I'm going to talk about two people tonight. The first is Diana Bass, and similar to what Ryan just said, Georgetown opened in 2006, and Diana has been there since the beginning. I think we still have maybe 3 or 4 people left. They're slowly fading away, the ones that have been there since the very beginning. Diana has been a teacher for 31 years, the last 20 of them at Georgetown, primarily lower L her whole time. She said one of her favorite parts of teaching was when she was in West Ottawa. She did a job share where she job shared with her sister. So they co-taught a first grade class, which was really fun for her, she said. I'm really going to miss her. She's an amazing person. She's so patient with kids. She's so kind. She's a wonderful teacher. And if you know Diana, she has the most amazing laugh. When you see her, she's not very big, and so you don't expect like the energy of her laugh, but it's amazing and it's pure and it's honest. And then the second person who is stepping away this year is Jen Stutz. Jen has been at Georgetown for 18 years, and she works some of that as a special ed parapro, and the last 13 years as a kindergarten teacher. Same thing, she's just wonderful with children. She meets them where they're at. If you are around Early L a lot, Pete the cat is super popular, and one of the things Pete says is it's all good. And Jen lives that mantra, sometimes with 4 and 5 and 6-year-old learners. They're not all ready to do what we want them to do all the time. And if I peek into Jen's class and there's something not perfect, she'll just kind of look at you and go, it's all good. And she truly lives that, and her kids do a great job, and we're going to miss both of them very much.
We're going to start with Mrs. Geikema, and that's why Mr. Bear joined me up here, because we were lucky enough to have Molly join us in the ELA department of the high school 2 springs ago from Riley. I knew her as a Riley parent, and I recall getting to meet her when I was coming over for an East Coast trip, and she asked him to meet me and talk to me about the opening that we ended up having here, and I was excited that she wanted to come up, and I got an email a couple days later saying that she wanted to, I move over here, sorry, join us at the high school, and I was thrilled. And right away, you could tell that she's such a pro. She knew what she was doing, of course, having taught at Raleigh for so many years, knew the students. Her room is such a calm and comfortable place to be. And even though I've only got to work with her for a couple of years, we're really gonna miss you upstairs in this department. You've become such a staple up there in such a short time. I know we knew everybody and people were coming back, but we wish you all the best. I know you're looking forward to spending more time with your family, and we wish you all the best and congrats. And we'll let Mr. Bear say it.
So I had the privilege of knowing Molly my first days of being an administrator. I still remember those days splitting a classroom up there with Casey Bissett, trying to figure out how to take 60 kids and pack them in a room and how we're going to teach social studies and ELA together. We did it. It's no easy task with 13 and 14-year-olds. I know Randy mentioned something about infectious laughs with, I think it was Diana that you mentioned. If you know Molly, like Molly has that. Molly has this personality we want to be around. I've had the privilege of having my kids go through her class. And then again, as she went to the high school, my 10th grader also had her in class. And I think you just know the value of people when you experience it from your own kids' lens. What they come home with, what they talk about, what they experience. And so I stand here not like as a, this is great and fantastic that we have Molly. Sad that she's leaving, but more just as a thanks from a parent standpoint. And I know Jordan can speak to that too. You have served many kids, but when it's your own, it just makes a difference. So Molly, I know you're at the high school. I know we don't see you often, but every time Molly comes back, it's part of the Riley family. So Molly, we're thankful for you. Thank you. Yeah.
Mrs. Goosen, come on up. So Rochelle and I have been talking about this time coming for a while, because honestly, I don't want her to leave. And so every year I tease her like, you're not going anywhere. Not just because she's a wonderful colleague to work with and does such a wonderful job with our kids, which she does. her programming is very specific because Rochelle teaches in the industrial arts department, teaches architecture drafting, engineering drafting. Not easy to find people that do that, especially at the level that she does. One of the most fun parts of just going in her room and seeing the progress that she's grown the program from is specifically in mites. So it's a competition that's just kind of wrapping up right now. Students, 83 of them she told me today, is that the right number?
Yeah.
83 students earned awards, and she posts a picture of them with their award starting from the first year that we sent kids to mites, which was 2004. There's a tiny poster from 2004, and it grows every year as you go around the room. And I told her she's gonna need 2 giant posters for the 83 kids this year. But you can just see all of the energy and expertise that she's put into the program. The students have benefited so greatly, including my own son last year, who really enjoyed learning in basic drafting, learning how to do the work and being very particular and seeing your own kid like learn a new, I never knew he could do the things that she taught him to do because such a credit to her as an educator. So we're really gonna miss her, and she's looking forward to doing, we talked about a little today, whatever she wants. And that sounds so nice. I keep saying her smile, she's got a great smile, but her smile's just been a little bit bigger. She told me, and I'm just living a little bit vicariously through that, but she's a traveler, and she's gonna be traveling a lot. She's headed up our architecture trips to Europe, so they're going to Eastern Europe this year with a group, but looking forward to doing a lot more traveling in retirement as well. So Rochelle, we're really gonna miss you. It's not gonna be the same without you down there, and go Blue. All right, his cousin sitting next to her gets to come up next, Mr. Haight. And I love that you still got the dust on from today. We're going to talk about that. But right around the corner in the wood shop is Mr. Haight's class. And what I had to talk about is when you go in there, it's probably the most fun. There's a lot of fun classrooms, a lot of fun being had. Like culinary right behind us here. Obviously, going to any of the music classrooms, but Wayne's class is a lot of fun. There are kids being empowered to learn and create and learn skills. And the smell of the sawdust and the sound of the sanders and the saws, it's awesome every time you go in there because kids find their place in his class. A lot of kids just love that program. They take everything that he has to offer, including some independent studies. And just like Rochelle, I wanted to highlight a regional award winner for Brooksy. Didn't he win a divisional award for mites. He had a student in independent study class, a sophomore, build this beautiful canoe. Several coats of lacquer on it. It's huge. We tested it on Tuesday in the old pool on the south campus, and of course Brooks had to invite the inaugural run to make sure it works, and it works perfectly, by the way. He invited Mr. Haight in the boat with him to do that. Had to be the two of them. But just a credit to how he makes connections with his students. And I always encourage like our incoming freshmen and students when they get here to get connected to something, to find the thing that they love about school. And Wayne, you and Rochelle both, losing you both at the same time. I figured it was coming, but it does stink that it's here. But just having students that have you in class just find that passion and find that place to belong, it's awesome. And we're gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss seeing you in the mornings, coming down and telling me what we gotta fix down there, but more importantly, bragging about your students' work. I know it's Mrs. Armstrong's one of the favorite rooms in the building too, from these bowls you're holding. She's got a little background in woodworking too, but we just are so appreciative of Wayne for what he brings every single day for his kids. So we're gonna miss you. Congratulations, and appreciate it. All right, just I've got 3 more who are not able to make it here tonight. So just real quick, Mrs. Clausen, Christy Clausen has been a staple in our math department for a long time here. She is a wonderful math educator. She holds students to a very high standard. She cares about her students. She's a wonderful mentor to the younger math teachers up in her hallway here on the north side of campus. I know a big reason for the decision to retire is to spend more time watching her daughter compete at Ball State in soccer. Daughter Jordan is an awesome soccer player. She still loves teaching. I know that this is a tough decision for her, but she's told me more than once, I still love this so much. But the pull of doing that was a lot, and we're just so excited that she gets to move on to another chapter, but she's gonna be definitely missed upstairs in that room. So Christy Fossen, we wish you all the best. She's gonna have a wonderful retirement. Laura Campbestead, someone who's in the world language department for many years at Hudsonville High School, back when it was the freshman campus where the current ECC is when she joined Hudsonville. And she made a switch a couple of years ago when there was an opening in our ELA department to teach our drama classes and take on the role of directing our fall play and our drama club. And she's really done an excellent job making that switch. Is kind of a new challenge to sort of end her career here. She has a daughter graduating next week, Thursday, with Evan, Lucy. And I think it's pretty special that she gets to go out with Lucy. We're going to really miss Laura here, and I know she's looking forward to spending more time with family as well. Lastly, but certainly not least, Coach Jason Glanville. He was one, I didn't write anything for him, because he was one of my coaches. And he's someone who meant a lot to me as a football player, as a student here in high school. It's funny, when I was talking with my mother, who was a chaperone on the required trip to Italy, she was asking about the retirees because she's been retired for a long time right now, and she always tells me that Sunday nights are the best. They're just the best. Still, she's been retired for well over 10 years, and she still just loves Sunday nights. So enjoy that Sunday night feeling. But she asked me who was retiring, if anyone she knew, and I said, yeah, Mr. Glanville. Still sometimes say that, right? Mrs. Weber, I can't help it. I call you by how I knew you. So I said, Mr. Glanville, Coach Glanville, said, he's retiring? He's just a young buck. Not more. But he meant a lot to me as a mentor, as a person who cared about kids. You know, he taught PE here for his whole time here, and coached football for many, many years. But a really special part of the PE department, a special coach to me and my classmates, my teammates at the time. And I know he left a legacy here. We're really going to miss Coach Glanville, and that'll do it for the high school. So thank you.
I should have started with the 5-6. Got it, you know, numbers up. All right, I get to recognize two special people tonight, Matt Leonard and Julie Teal. They have a combined total of 53 years in Hudsonville, both of them. So. All right, so first, I have Matt Leonard. For the past 26 years, Matt has played an integral role in the elementary PE department. He started his PE journey at Jamestown, and he took a one-year sabbatical to teach second grade, which I imagine was probably his quietest year of teaching, before getting back to his true calling in the gym. If you've attended an elementary school in Hudsonville in the last quarter century, there is a high probability that Matt Leonard has handed you a jersey, motivated you to jump rope for heart, or encouraged you to push yourself to win the tug competition at field day. This is because Matt taught at almost every elementary school in Hudsonville, except for Allward, correct? All right. With the better part of 20 years at Jamestown, before joining us 3 years ago as we opened the 5-6 building. I first got to know Matt when my own daughter was lucky enough to have him as a teacher. It was through her eyes that I saw the impact he had on our kids. He didn't just teach them the skills, he also built really authentic relationships with them. My daughter still talks about her nickname, Sticks, that she got from him, and her favorite game in elementary PE, which was pillow polo. If you've ever seen a match at the 5-6 building, it gets really competitive. But it is my favorite thing to go and watch in the gym. At the 5-6 building, Matt's impact has gone far beyond teaching PE. He's been instrumental in starting up unified sports for us, ensuring that students of all abilities have a place to belong, compete, and shine. And he has a heart for all kids, pushing them to do their best while making sure they feel seen and supported. In addition to teaching and coaching, Matt has sought out other opportunities to build relationships with our students beyond the classroom. On any given day, you can see Matt lending a helping hand with lunchroom supervision, which we really appreciate. 5th and 6th graders are really loud and have lots of energy. And before and after school supervision, because those buses get there really early and they come a little bit late, and he's always there helping out, which we so appreciate. And that's probably one of the most important teaching opportunities that he has with our kids in those hallways and during those unstructured times. As Matt closes his chapter, he's starting a new and exciting one. This past April, he married Amy, who supports him in all that he does, and he is entering into retirement with some new goals, being an amazing barbecue expert and earning some time to relax by his pool and tackle projects around his house at his own pace. So thank you, Matt, for 26 years of energy, for sticks, and for heart for all of your students. Congrats. And Julie is here too. All right. It is a really special occasion when you get to honor somebody with a career that spans over 27 years. To describe Julie's impact on HBS is to describe someone who doesn't just teach a curriculum, she lives it with her students. Whether she was teaching first graders how to read, which I just found out about just recently, or sixth graders how to navigate the globe, Julie has always been the teacher who brings the fun along with the facts. Julie's teaching career began at Bauer Elementary, where she taught first graders for 6 years. First grade is a critical time when students learn how to read and that they learn how to sit on the carpet as well, not on the teacher's legs during circle time. With her colleagues, they navigated the gravity of 9/11 and drew to each other to get through it. In a lighter moment during those years, Julie tested out the phrase, "If you bring it, they will eat it," with a tray of plain celery, proving the school staff will eat anything left in the teacher's lounge. Julie's sense of humor and her sense of curiosity draws others in, even with plain celery. While teaching at Bauer, Julie continued her education and added middle school ELA and social studies to her list of teaching credentials. With these credentials, she moved from teaching 6-year-olds how to read at Bauer to teaching middle schoolers ELA at BMS. Here, she continued deepening students' love of reading for the next 10 years. Julie is the epitome of a lifelong learner, and her next adventure was to teach geography to 6th graders. This is where she turned the tips and tricks she acquired throughout her life into a roadmap for her students. And she's been bringing geography alive for her students ever since. Through her creative hands-on lessons, she motivates students to research, explore, and make connections with what they are learning in the classroom to their own lives. It has been a pleasure for me to get to know Julie in and out of the classroom, particularly on the golf course. This is another area where I learned about Julie's love for learning. As far as I know, she's the only person I've ever met that decided to read a book to learn how to golf. And she did really well with it. I was so impressed. So I am hoping that I get to go on the golf course with her during her retirement. Julie is hoping that she can continue to be active as she enters retirement. She hopes to travel the world that she's been teaching us about and golf with her husband Scott, and hopefully me too. She said the kids have kept her young, so I have no doubt she'll accomplish her new goals. She and Scott will also be celebrating 40 years together, 36 married this summer. Julie, you've brought social studies to life for hundreds of students who will never look at math the same way again. You have been a rock for your coworkers and a light in the hallways at 56G. We'll miss your wisdom, sense of humor, passion for learning, and friendship.
I'm going to start with Pam Vanderpool. Pam has been a speech pathologist in the district. The number is over 30, if that's accurate. 31, yeah. So there's a part of my job as an administrator where you're humbled on a daily basis. Of course, I don't tell Pam what I'm going to say, or I told Katie either. But you know, you get into a district and they say to you, okay, one of your jobs is to evaluate a speech pathologist. Like, that's great, but I'm an elementary principal that in a lot of classrooms can stretch myself to PE and music and those things, but speech pathologist, what am I going to say to him? But one of my favorite memories, because she's so kind, she taught me a lot about the progression of speech and articulation. I'd go to Pam and say, okay, when you're in these meetings and say, like, this is the natural progression, this is, good for this age and this is not, can you, teach me some of these things? And she was so kind to do that. But one of my favorite observations with her is she has a name for him, and I don't even remember what it is, but she has this mouth model. Mr. Grossmouth. And you would think, what, again, I'm learning, I'm being humbled, but she knows how to help kids use that. Where does your tongue go when you try to make this sound? And where do your teeth go when you make this sound? And Pam has been a really important part of our child study process as well, because she has been kind enough to bring in some of her own expertise, not that she just learned, but that she's lived, and brings that into our building in terms of how we best service our kids. So I appreciate all of your years of service, you being willing to teach me in those child study meetings early in the morning, and we wish you all the best in your retirement. Congratulations. And then Katie Newenhouse, currently teaching 3rd grade. Katie, there's some core memories that you have with people that you've worked with for a while. Both of these women outdated my time at South, which is kind of hard to do. They have survived South 1, South 2, and South 3, and we've made it. But a couple of things I remember about Katie, I remember interviewing, and Katie was on that committee. I don't even know if she remembers that. It was an incredibly hot day at South 1. And, I'm already nervous, so I'm probably sweating like buckets. And South 1 had one of the smallest conference rooms that you could imagine, with the largest table that you could ever imagine, and barely getting around there. And I just remember Katie being really kind. She's a very even-tempered person, and so it was great to have somebody who was just kind of like, you'll be okay. We're going to ask you some questions, and it helped out. And then you get to know somebody. She taught lower L kindergarten when I first knew her, and you kind of almost pigeonhole people, right? Okay, this is a kindergarten teacher, and she loves it, and she's doing a great job. All these little people, people who can handle little people who are hugging you all the time and sitting on your lap when they're not supposed to. And Katie just has a lot of patience. And then there comes a time when, knock on the door, conversations like, I think I'm ready for something different. What about, I think you have a 3rd grade opening. What about 3rd grade? And it's hard to make that shift, but in my head, but she was ready to go and has done a great job. I also appreciate one of the hard things to do is to take on student teachers. Jobs as teachers, anybody who has been one or is one, it's a full-time plus job. And to think about taking on a student teacher and to impart your wisdom and knowledge while you're handing your kids to them and trying to stay back and let them learn on their own. But what she's done over the course of time to build the next generation of educators, I really appreciate. It's extra work. So congratulations. Thank you for your years of service. Thanks for helping me on my first day interviewing. And we wish you and your family the very best as you transition into your retirement. Congratulations.
Last but certainly not least, Amy Thomas is going to talk.
Good evening. I get the great honor of talking about Kathy Lewandowski, our MTSS coordinator. So first I'll just begin by Kathy's impact on education began well before she joined us. She spent the majority of her career at Coopersville Public Schools, and she would say that she was lucky that we took her in, but we all know we were the lucky ones that she chose Hudsonville. She began as an instructional coach and then made the brave leap to be our very first MTSS coordinator. And Kathy just embodies growth mindset. So it's just who she is, and being around her just is being part of a coaching conversation almost ongoing, because she's a learner and she inspires learning in others. As a pioneer in her role, Kathy has been a vital link between the curriculum and student services departments. Her work has been so foundational and behind the scenes work ethic that it's tireless, She has helped us onboard an important data system that makes sure that we can always access our students' intervention systems, intervention growth, their history, and she's also been a really key part of our merge of our MTSS and alignment between MTSS A and B, and a leader of our student support specialists who all love and adore her and are going to miss her deeply. Beyond the systems, Kathy, whether she's overseeing summer learning or after-school tutoring, her focus remains always on students and their best success. Everyone lucky enough to be in her orbit knows she's a woman of immense kindness and compassion who truly wants the best for everyone. As she moves towards retirement, and we're all in awe of her plans because they sound amazing, she's going to swap out the data systems for a beautiful lavender farm where she's just going to make beautiful things all day and share her light and sunshine with all that are around her. So Kathy, I wish you and your family the very best in your next step.
Unfortunately, we have come to a time when we do need to recommend, and they're leaving now, but you know we haven't approved your retirement. I just want to throw it out there. Geico's car's already running. So we do have a recommendation to the board to approve the retirements as presented through Mrs. Armstrong and the principals. So I'll turn it over to you, President Chansky.
I think we're just going to go on to the next subject. Do we have a motion to approve the retirements as presented by Mrs. Armstrong?
A reluctant motion.
Okay.
And a reluctant second.
Ken and Dawn, do we have any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Now you can leave.
Next, we have the certification of graduates. And I'd like to ask Jordan Beal to present the graduates.
Mike's open, I think this is our.
Oh, yep, I do.
Thank you, board. The list you have in front of you, the graduates have met the requirements as laid out in the handbook and by the Michigan Department of Education. So we present those to you tonight to be certified for next week's graduation.
Thank you, Jordan. Do we have a motion to certify the list of graduates as presented by Jordan Beal?
I'll take that one.
Nick?
I know you.
And
I'll do that one. Support.
Andrew supports. Any discussion? All those.
How about this one? How about this one?
No discussion, please.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the Ottawa Area Intermediate School District 2026-2027 budget resolution. Do we have a motion to approve the 26-27 OASID budget resolution?
So moved.
Ron and Ken. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have the human resource items, and we'd like to ask Ann for her recommendations on these.
Yes, I always love to hear about the retirees, and I love when new hires are sitting in the, audience so that they can hear and see what great things are in store for them. So, we have several hires for recommendation tonight. First, I'm going to start with Andrew Colbeck. Andrew we are recommending for hire for, for a industrial tech position. And Andrew is a former naval officer. No.
Yeah, enlisted in the Navy, yeah.
Yeah, but medic.
Yep.
And he after that moved to North Carolina where he taught for 2 years and then came back to Michigan. Then he kind of worked in the construction appraisal
arena, where he got really good with construction management and talking and CAD systems and things like that. And, but really has a heart to serve, obviously through his naval experience, and so he really wants to get back with kids. He said the happiest he ever was when he was teaching, and so we're very excited for his enthusiasm and his really hard work ethic, and we just think that, I just want to say that it takes 30 years to do what you heard about tonight, so don't worry, you have time. But very excited to recommend Andrew for the position of industrial tech. So, next I have Harrison Dorff. Harrison is a recent grad, and he became highly recommended from his student teaching experience. He really razzle-dazzled us in his interviews, and just has just a heart of gold. I think he's going to be a tremendous mentor to our students, and so we're recommending him as a resource teacher at the high school. Next we have Madison Greisman, who, again, a tremendous mentor for our students. Maddie has been working very hard with our students at O'Reilly Middle School all year in a variety of roles in long-term sub positions. And I mean, when she came into the interview after she left, we were all like, yep, she does this, she does this, she does this, she does fantastic. And we are just so excited to make her an official legal. Thank you, Roy. After that, we have Jacob Harvey. Jacob Harvey was working for us as a library para, and when Bob Henning fell ill, he stepped in to take on his class, and he didn't have yearbook experience or journalism experience, but he was an English teacher, and he could do it, and he did it, and he is doing awesome. So he is currently teaching trimester 3 for us, and we're really excited to have him as part of the English department here at the high school. So thank you. The next one is finishing his school year up in the UP. So Aaron Veneman is not here, but he has 20 years of teaching experience. He has taught in Michigan, he's taught down in Missouri, has Project Lead the Way experience, and you know, one thing I want to say about Wayne and Rochelle, they really are hard positions to fill, in the fact that we have both of them filled, like we're recommending. I'm so excited. I think Aaron is going to be a tremendous mentor for Andrew, and they're going to have it's going to be a great pairing. So Aaron is a Coopersville native and is moving back closer to family. And then finally, we get to welcome back Allison Whitaker. Allison was a high school teacher, and then she went to Baldwin Street Middle School as an English teacher, served as department chair, tremendous educator, and really loved by staff and students. Took a break to be with her kids for a while, and now is coming back. So we're recommending her for be hired. So those are our fabulous hires for recommendation.
Thank you very much, Ann. We have a motion to approve the certified hire recommendations as presented by Ann Armstrong. Barb?
Support.
Nick? Any discussion?
Just so great looking at the resumes of all of you. The diversity of your age and your experience and where you went to college, and yet you can tell it's all about the passion for the students. And just so excited for all of you to join the Hudsonville team, and can't wait to make sure we have you till like 30 years down the road again, like that possibly. But appreciate all the efforts I'm sure you'll put in for us.
And how many industrial tech positions do we have?
2.
So we have 100% rollover? Or?
Yes.
So who becomes the senior? Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Right, next we're moving to some report items. We are going to start with our last but not least student council report from Evan Andre.
Very bittersweet, I know. I'm very upset. Can you see it on my face?
graduation season, and we are so excited for graduation. So that is next week, Thursday. We have been preparing. This is students' last week, so tomorrow is seniors' last day of school. Very exciting. Last week we had academic awards on Monday, and then, no, it was this week actually. Academic awards on Monday, and then athletic awards on Wednesday. So that was really fun, getting to see all of the seniors getting all of their awards and being celebrated in that way. After that, graduation on next week, Thursday. There's going to be the senior all-nighter where students stay up all night and play games and eat food. It's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited, but it's in a non-disclosed location, so nobody knows where we're going to be.
Somebody knows.
Somebody knows. Hopefully. This week we are finishing up AP exams, which is really exciting. Kids are performing. It's like Mr. Vanderway says, the ultimate celebration of knowledge. Really fun, really stressful, but we're all glad that it's ending. This past week, on Friday, we had the teacher luncheon and celebrated all of our high school teachers with some food from the Delicious Fusion Kitchen, which has just replaced Hudsonville Grill. It was fantastic. They all had fajitas and nachos and pop, and it was really great. This past Saturday, we had the Riverbank Run, which is what Frau Wedge ended up coordinating with the Riverbank Run. And a bunch of students from both student council, the volleyball team, and all around, we all went and we passed out water and Gatorade to the runners. So you have to hold out the water and you have to hold it like this, and they'll run past and they snatch it out of your hand. You have to pull your arm back really quick. It's really fun, actually. Gets the blood pumping. This coming Monday, we have the Physics Cedar Point trip. It's where Mr. Vanderway takes all of the students that pass with a high enough grade to Cedar Point. And it's going to be so much fun, and it's showing off all of the physics of roller coasters, right? Like was mentioned much earlier in this meeting, quite some time ago, the orchestra concert, the 25th anniversary orchestra concert was a blast. My brother performed in it. He was one of the basses in the back. He was pretty great, I think. But that's so much fun to celebrate all of our music. As you know, I'm very involved in the music department. And I love seeing every performance that I go to, no matter if it's choir, orchestra, band, middle school. Everyone's so fantastic here in the district. They all are just excellent, and they breed that within all of our students. There's another orchestra concert tonight, and a band concert was last night, so we are still going strong this year. And then we also had a review show about 2 weekends ago. It was like the night before prom. That was a tough weekend, but it was so much fun. We got to watch all of our students dance and sing, and some solos and small groups. Those were really fun. And then prom was at the review show. That was a fantastic night. Thank you to Mrs. Jeske and Mrs. Jenkins and all of the other teachers that helped coordinate that with 20 Monroe Live downtown. Really, really fantastic. And with some of our sports, we have lacrosse. They're now conference champs. So they're going, oh yeah. They're going on and continuing their greatness. And then water polo, soccer, tennis, golf, track, volleyball, boys volleyball, our 5-time state champs. They're all so fantastic as well. And I'd like to say, since this is my last meeting, thank you guys all so much for supporting me. I am so proud to represent our student body. It's brought so much pride for me, and I'm so happy to pass it on to Bella next year. She is our new elected representative, and she will show you all how fantastic she is come this fall. I say fantastic a lot, don't I? Oh, goodness, but no, she's really wonderful, and I'm so proud to pass this down to her. She is a wonderful choice, and that is it for me.
So Evan, on behalf of the board and the entire district, thank you for serving your student body well. We wish you nothing but the best at Western. Have fun. It's close enough and far enough, right? That she can't just pop in, just so you know. You got a good 55-minute head start when you know she's coming. So you'll do amazing things. So we have a small token with some notes in there just to say thank you. So congratulations. 1 week from right now, you will have already walked across the stage. I hope, Mr. Neal. Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
You'll be,
Very comfortable.
then he'll get you, you gotta stay there for the rest of it. Okay. We have some building updates we'd like to get. I'm gonna start with Tricia over at the BCC.
Yeah, good evening. I am excited to give you a little bit of an update from the ECC. We've had many things going on since spring break that I just want to highlight. We have a staggered start at the ECC with all of our programs, and the same thing is true at the end, so it feels kind of wild and fierce at the end, with so many fun things to celebrate. One of the things that we're really proud of is a partnership that we have actually with the high school. We partner with the lifeguarding class, and so our 4-year-olds get an opportunity to have a field trip where they learn about water safety, and they partner with the high schoolers. It's like the highlight of their year, where they get an opportunity to really establish a bond, but most importantly, like, they're having fun in the water, and that can be such a scary thing. Many of our preschoolers tell us, like, this is the first time I've ever been in a pool, and as we head into summer, that's a really important experience for them, so that's really something that we like to celebrate and we get an opportunity to be a part of. So that's something that we take a lot of pride in, so we're very thankful to have that partnership with the high school. We also had Fire Chief Essenberg come and visit us at the ECC to teach our preschoolers some fire safety. We know when in those emergency events that can be really scary just with the uniforms that they are wearing, so just to teach them that they are safe in those moments and the things that they can do to protect themselves and make them feel more comfortable in those high stress situations is really important. We also had our own deputy Papa come and teach us a little bit about emergency situations, just to hear the fun conversations about what they think are emergency situations and how he handles it. One of our preschoolers actually, he said, "What do you think that the people go when they go in the car?" And he's like, they go in the truck. Yeah, you put them in the truck. So that was a little humorous situation in the classroom, just to hear like their understanding of the situation at times. We also had a PBIS celebration where we had the chance to celebrate all of our preschoolers' hard work with learning all of our school readiness and ways that we can soar within the building. It took more of a field day approach, so we had an inflatable maze that the students could navigate through in the gym. They got an opportunity to have some chalk art in front of our building to really represent us well. They had beautiful sunflowers and sun, so they painted us very lightly in the front and made us look really nice. Then we had a glow party in our M&M room, and then of course ended it with a popsicle in their classroom. So they said it was the best school day of the school year. And so yeah, to have the opportunity to celebrate all of their hard work, but it doesn't go without recognizing the hard work of all of our staff. So it leads me to really highlight all of our end of year celebrations. Last year, half of our programs had their end of year celebrations, which is our preschool graduations. And just to see the amount of emotion that is on the preschoolers and overcome with the teachers and parents is really just overwhelming. You reflect on how the preschoolers come into the ECC and how nervous they are and maybe a little timid and they're just unaware, right? And then they're leaving the ECC confident. They're saying they're going to their big school next year, which we're feeling really excited for them. So just to see the transformation is really exciting. So yeah, that's the update with the ECC.
Any questions for Mrs. Miller? Next update we have is Mr. Verwise in Jamestown Upper.
Thanks. There we go. Thanks, Boyd. So just a couple updates from Jamestown Upper. We have just finished about a month and a half with our new Hudsonville Hound, Bella. It has been amazing. I have been looking forward to getting a comfort dog in the building since my second week of employment in this district. And it is even more impactful than even I had imagined. One of my favorite things is I'm one of the, not the primary handler, but I'm one of the handlers. So on those occasions when I get to go and grab Bella and be in one of our spots around the building where our kids do drive-by pets, and just watching the kids' faces come towards you with whatever face they have coming in the morning, and as soon as they see Bella, it's a smile. It is just astounding. It's like magic. So that's awesome. Girls on the Run, we're just wrapping that up. We had 28 girls this year. We had to break up into 2 different teams, so every day seeing those girls get together and not only do something athletic and something that's challenging for themselves, but also the constant work on character. The conversations that I get to hear bits and pieces of is amazing. Finishing up M-Step, we are basically done. We've got a couple students struggling in from some absences and sickness that we need to do, but we've made some intentional changes this year in our structure. Our teachers really wanted to make sure that we were providing the best opportunity for kids to show what they can do, and a lot of positive feedback from the kids and the teachers, and preliminary data looks great so far. So excited to get the final data on that in a couple weeks. And then something that started in March that we did for the first time in Jamestown Upper, we did a screen-free challenge that coincided with March's Reading Month. And rolled that out to all the parents and the students, and I put an incentive in there. I'm like, anybody who does the screen-free challenge, we're gonna do a pizza party, and anybody who does it for every day for the whole month automatically gets an invite to the pizza party. I didn't think there were gonna be that many, so then I put in some, but then we'll also go with, whatever the top 25 students are, however many days you were able to be screen-free. We ended up with 76 students who went every day for the month, screen-free. It was amazing. It was some of the kids, some of the principals that are up here. Next year, we are definitely gonna be doing it next year. So I just want to read just a couple of the emails that I got from parents. It's not an everyday occurrence that you just get parents just telling you what a good job you're doing on whatever thing. I got so many emails from parents about this, so I just grabbed a few of them. One parent said, our family really enjoyed the screen-free challenge. The whole family participated, and we hope to keep it up at various points throughout the year. Thanks for the family fun. Thank you for doing the Thank you for doing the screen-free challenge. For this month, both of our kids rocked it. The first couple of days are challenging, but they both read a lot more and truly seemed more pleasant. Even though the screen-free challenge is complete, we have really cut down on the tablet time, and they don't get as upset when we tell them that they've had enough for the day. I'm hoping we can keep this up at home into the summer months. Third email. Thank you for giving the kids this challenge. Our 2 girls were both very motivated to be screen-free the whole month. There were even times when their brother would be watching something and they would walk by it and then catch themselves and say, nope, screen-free. I hope that many families saw the value in less screen time than we did. Parent 4, we decided to make this a full family affair and definitely saw a difference in how we spent our time and subsequent behaviors during this month. Our daughter's self-reflection of how much better she felt after detaching was one of the most powerful outcomes. It made me chuckle a little bit because I've got a number of these emails, a number of parents that felt like they needed to have permission to make their kids screen-free. So a lot of exciting things, obviously already around the planning for next year.
Thanks. Any questions for Mr. Fawaz? Next up, an update from Riley. Mr. Barrett.
The state of Michigan is helping us at the secondary level with a screen-free all the time. Let's go. Okay. I just want to take a minute. We got all these programs in front of us. The 25th anniversary orchestra thing. We're blessed with Sarah Lenhart, Lauren Kella. We know Becky Bush just from afar and all that stuff, but she mentioned like where they've been and then, hot cross buns. We hear like the first day squeaks. And like that to me is like, they're in the cafeteria and you're kind of in the office trying to, what is that? And it's absolutely incredible to watch what they play at the end of 6th grade, 7th grade, and then move on. So I just think of like how great that is for our kids that we get to see that and celebrate it, but the magic happens from the people that do it. And that is by no accident. It happens because they do such great things. And we right now have record numbers for kids in music. And I know that's just like the priority for 6th grade, and that happens, but kids want to be there, and that's so just incredible to see. We wrapped up Teacher Appreciation Week last week. Lots of things with our PTO partners. Fire up, thank you for that. We started that here this year. There's a lot of student thank yous. We had a Gillis Chiropractic Massage group come out, so all our teachers got massages. And then obviously there was a lot of cake that was rolling around from Dr. Vanderjet and everybody else. So just thanks for that. It was a great time, just a chance to celebrate, like I said, the people that make things happen. One last thing, the art show that was going on, I brought this with me just because I like to bring what student things in. This is Cambria. Cambria made this, and she was in the art show, and I asked her afterwards, I said something to the effect of like, hey, why do you like art? And her answer was, well, it's not math. Sorry, Miss Steele, don't hold that against her. I think she's with Chenlo, so it's okay. But I think what was funny is she talked about how she saw math in this project that she created. And she said things like how to organize and measure for space. I see it connected in ways and I just get to be creative. So one thing we've struggled with, and that's weird to say that, we've had a record number of requests for kids to take art, to the point where we have to be really strategic on what we offer, how many we offer, and what order we offer them. And I'm not saying that wasn't a problem before, but it's because of people like Chloe Lynch, who we had the opportunity to hire a couple years ago, and she just, she makes it for kids, and it's amazing. Thanks to Pat for approving that plug mill, what was that? Whatever thing recycles clay. She was doing that literally before I came here, so thanks for approving that. She wanted that noted and on the record here tonight. What's coming up at Riley? We just got a couple cool things. It's field trip season. Thanks to Rob and to Mary Darden for getting our kids places and getting them fed when we go. We got a lot of things happening. We have our 8th graders are doing what's called a capstone project. They have a driving question that's how can I show and demonstrate that I'm high school ready? And then all of our A-push kids come down and they interview our 8th graders, and our 8th graders have to not justify because we're going to send them, but they talk about like who they are, what they've done, what impact they've made in middle school, and then what they plan on getting involved with in high school. And Jordan speaks about this often. What makes this place work is relationships. What makes this place work is a connection to something outside of just the classroom. I think we see that in all the things that happen tonight. And so we're just excited for our kids to explore, and thanks for Jordan and his group for putting that on in February about how they can get involved and how they can make the high school a better place than what it already is. And then last thing I've got on May 21, which is, that's right, the graduation thing's happening. But a more important day is Rocket Day at Riley. This is my daughter's, and she said if you break it, you're toast. So I can't break it. But one of the cool things that we do in 8th grade is that kids get to experience the idea of Newton's laws, velocity, trajectory, all this stuff, through making 2-liter bottle rockets and then firing them off, off of a air pressure thing or whatever, and shooting them into the field. And I just think it's so like you watch kids come in every single day after taking a piece of plastic, filling it with water, and they just come in, that was the best. But they come in as scientists, not because that was cool, because every single one of them is like, I gotta change, the circumference of where my fins lie, and what kind of plastic are you using? You use this for mass. But they're using science words, and we're like tricking them in learning. And that's what the coolest part is they come in and they're so pumped. And I see like Ms. Hemis like nodding, like, you know this, right? Because you're like my daughter, do you have any like PVC plastic, whatever? And I'm like, no. Do we have any more duct tape? How many rolls have you gone through? It's just, and it's cool because this one kid who has really struggled this year in many different ways comes in with a bottle rocket. It's the first time because he finally got all of his science stuff done, so he's able to go out and launch. And I said, how'd it go? And he goes, man, Mr. Barry, it went so good. It went so far, and it landed there every single time. I said, how far did it go? And I apologized ahead of time, and I said, it went 6, 7. Like he did, I go, that died in 2025. But he was so excited about the consistency that he had, because that's the goal of the project. It's not shoot it as far as you can, but you got it to the right place, the right time, every single time. So those are just some really cool things that I think are happening at Riley, and some ways we celebrate. We got our seniors doing our walkthrough on the 21st, and we end Rocket Day with seniors in caps and gowns, who were generals from 4 years ago, being able to launch the rocket that their teachers kept in their storage room. So don't tell them that. I mean, I think they kind of know, but Evan, Don't say a thing. Anyway, so it's just some updates from Raleigh.
Thanks, Mr. Barrett. Questions for Mr. Barrett?
You may not buy this. This was at 110 today. This is
Those fins look legit. I want to get the specs on those fins.
What's funny is like she finds things that are like out there, and I'm like, can I have this? And she just starts cutting, and I'm like, sweetie, that's like you probably should put some gloves on, like just cutting stuff off, ripping. I'm like, okay, just pick up the office before you go to bed.
Any questions for Mr. Barrett other than trying to buy his daughter's rocket? Last but not least, Mr. Veal.
We've heard an awful lot, so I'll try to be brief, but a great segue. Student Cambria that made that for the art show, and we celebrated that along with the 25th anniversary orchestra show in the field house. Some amazing artwork on display, and they could get all the way up to AP Calculus too, but they can also now, thanks to the support from the board in approving new classes, take AP Studio Art. So that's a new course going, and it's been very popular, and I would imagine a student like Cambria can work her way up at the high school and then end up getting college credit. And so that's another just gratitude we have for the support to start new AP classes. So speaking of AP, thing at the high school is we're wrapping up AP testing tomorrow. See Coach Sandy here for AP Econ, but we've had a lot going since last week, Monday, so this is week 2 of AP testing. So it's both a stressful time for the students who are taking these courses, and now that I have one that's in a couple of them, I see the preparation, but also the I guess, excitement. It sounds weird to say that about a test, but if you saw the students getting ready for the A-Push test, AP US History, we affectionately call A-Push around here. Over 100 of them, because it's 5 sections, I think, of students, and they just get so fired up. They play pretty loud music, Fireball, getting fired up, and they're just jumping around, getting ready to go demonstrate their learning because their goal is 4s and 5s. They call each other scholars and family in there, and that's just one example of the preparation that these AP teachers here, and the passion and the just connections they make with the kids, because they have them all year long, all 3 trimesters, with the exception of a couple like Econ that run 2. But getting ready for that is just such a big deal for the students in those classes, and then they get to go demonstrate their learning in these exams this week, and the teachers are so awesome preparing them to do well on those. To get them some college credit here at Hudsonville. So we're really proud of that program. Wraps up testing tomorrow. We're excited, of course, about graduation. I don't need to reiterate all of the awesome things that have been shared. She does such a great job, and we'll miss you here at these meetings, but wish you all the best, and congratulations. In May, we're just reminded it's such a busy month. It gets here, and we're always like, oh my goodness, there's something going on every second, especially at the high school, a big school like ours. Dr. Vanderjack and I rushed back here to get here on time. Our baseball team won a big game against Rockford. We took the lead 3-2 as we were walking out. Ended up getting a text as we were pulling out of the parking lot that we rallied 7-2 and beat Rockford for the OKR championship. So there's always something fun going on, something fun to celebrate. That was one I want to highlight, but there's so many other success stories that could go on and on. But thank you for your support. Teachers, thank you. And May is kind of Teacher Appreciation Month. We stretch it out. This place wouldn't be what it is without our awesome educators. So congrats to our retirees again, and we welcome all the high school people I see in front of me. Welcome. You're going to love it here, I promise. You've heard a lot tonight about the great things here, and I hope you have as an amazing a time as we've all had here. So congrats again on your hires, and we're looking forward to getting you in here. So thanks, everybody. Thank you, board.
Any questions from Mr. Veal? So I have a brief update tonight. It's just a great night. Unfortunately, you see teachers leave us. They spend a lot of time with our kids. A lot of kids have gone through their classrooms. But we want to celebrate them. We have new staff coming on board. We want to celebrate. We have a winter percussion that we celebrate. We have Evan's done a great job. We're celebrating her transition to leaving us in a week. The district. You're still, you know where you live. We'll figure it out. But we also have others that we celebrate, and we've been doing this the last few months. Is celebrating teachers that we consider all in all year, and we really could just put all of our teachers on there. But these are those that stand out. So I'd like to just share. We describe all in all year a staff member who demonstrates consistent commitment, ownership, service to students, families, and colleagues every day of the year, not just during high visibility moments, not just when people are watching. These staff members, their actions, efforts, and energy support and maintain a positive culture for all of those they interact with. That's their colleagues, that's their administrators, that's their families, that's when their superintendent pops in their classroom and interrupts their classroom in the middle of what they're doing. That's what makes this district great. So tonight we want to celebrate 6 more. We're going to put their beautiful photos in the boardroom. I know we're not in the boardroom tonight, but they're there. Their pictures will be there. So real quick, I'm just gonna, a couple of them are still here. With Tara Johansson, bus driver and transportation. With Holly Mueller, who's in 2nd grade at Bauer Elementary. With Joyce Ryan, she's a lunch and recess parapro at Jamestown Lower. Brent Sandy, football coach, assistant wrestling coach, teacher at the high school. With Kaylee Schreier, building monitor coordinator for community education. And we have Ashley Vaughn, who works in our office in the Human Resources Department. So can we give them a round of applause? We are so blessed to have these people in our district and those that support them, because I know we all work together so closely. But thanks for all you do. Thanks to our administrators, to our teachers that are here. It is May. I know you're counting your days down, Devin, as are the teachers, as they're winding down. The year goes quick. Every year they seem to go faster and faster. So I know we're going to have a little bit of a break coming up for our administrators, for our teachers. We'll still have board meetings, but we'll go through. But I want to thank them for a great year, for everything they've done. You can't ask, you come to work every day, and it's one thing to come to work and do a job. It's another thing to come to work because you love the people that you're with. And that's in the buildings, that's in the bus garage, that's looking at an electric bus that I thought was really cool, even though I got a little bit of car sick when they took me around. But it's talking to the custodians that are taking care of our buildings. It's going to our baseball and softball fields, and there's such beautiful fields because they do such a good job keeping them up. We're just really blessed to be here. So thanks to the board for their support, and thanks for everybody. It's been a great year. Thanks. That's my report, Jim.
When you talk about having some time off for the summer, I remember 2 days after school was done last year, I ran by South and Mark had up on the welcome back August, whatever it was. I said, give him a few days. He did that for the parents. Okay, we are going to forego the reports from the staff here, and we're going to go into closed session. So do we have a motion to go into closed session to discuss negotiations?
Support.
Okay, so we have Dawn and Barb. Do we have any discussion? Okay, we're gonna do a roll call vote. I'm gonna start with Nick.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we are going into closed session and we'll be back shortly or longly, I don't know.
For those that want to stay, you're welcome to. There is nothing else left on the agenda except